What's up, everybody? I'm Scott.
I'm Jason.
And you are listening to Liquid Kernedge. That, hey, you heard right there, was this week's guest, man. He just chimed right in. This is our buddy Josh, one of the proprietors at the Buzz Barber Shop in downtown Kingman, Arizona. Josh, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing excellent. I'm doing great, guys. How are you guys doing?
It's not too bad, man. It's we're recording this on a Monday right now, so it's the first day of the work week, and I'm glad it's done. What about you, Jason?
Oh, I've been done. Like I just got back from a long trip to Maine, so I didn't get home till very late last night. So this morning has been a little bit of dragging up until about 3:30, and then I got my second wind and started doing some work, and then I got home and then record our podcast today. You know,
so it's a good day.
Oh, now
so
it is.
A lot of our listeners that have been listening over the last few weeks know that Jason went to go visit his daughter in Maine over the weekend. And this is your first time actually going to see her in Maine, correct?
Yeah. And it was my first time spending longer than like an afternoon or an hour with her. I've met her two other times, but both times were kind of very short and sweet visits. So this is the first time where I actually spent more than just a day with them. I actually spent a lot of time in Maine with them. And so it was a good experience. We had a good time. It was fun to see her. Maine is a beautiful state. I'll just put that plug in. If you get a chance to go to Maine, it's an amazing state. It's very rural, so it's very you're out in the middle of of country and lots of trees and lakes and lots of life, and it's fun.
Is it like Vermont where it's for lovers?
I stayed at one of those. I stayed at a bed and breakfast, and the bed and breakfast told me that they have a mountain that's the furthest east point of the United States. And they were saying that it's a mountain that it's a great place to propose to someone because, do it at sunrise and it's so amazing. So
I have a two-part question.
Go ahead, Josh.
Jason, 1, are you Latin or Hispanic in any way? And 2, did you just get out of prison?
It
sounds like you're meeting your daughter for the first time.
No, it's a long story, but the short version of it is I didn't find out about her till she was 18. And so our relationship has only been in her adult life. So I never knew her before then. Well, when you live way out in Maine and I live in Arizona, it's just hard to get out there. But I made it a point this year to spend the money to go see her. And the plane tickets are just like ungodly expensive. It's like $700 to fly out to Maine. So
plus they don't have DSL or cable internet in Maine. They still have dial-up. It's a thing out there. So
they send their notes with hawks, man. They send a hawk out. They send the hawk out. Pigeons. It gets to me about 7 days later.
Apparently 18 years later.
Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah.
You have a daughter.
Yeah, congratulations, right?
Who lives in Maine?
Well, man, I'm glad you got to go out there and hang out with her for the weekend. You didn't miss much over here in Arizona. It was still hot. It was still monsooning. I did get to play golf. I did watch the new It on HBO in your honor.
Thanks, buddy.
Not that I forgot you were in Maine because I might have forgot, but I did watch It because it is actually a very good movie.
When you say you watched It, the new It or the old It?
The new It. I did watch the new It. The better version of the movie.
Okay, all right.
Apparently, Josh is a fan of the. Are you a fan of the younger?
Yes,
the
original.
The original.
No CGI.
No, just Tim Curry and clown makeup and scary as fuck.
Yes, I'm completely against the new one because there is CGI. I didn't even watch it.
Dude, it's a very good movie. It's very well done.
I think, though, for our listeners, it's important to recognize that this is a big thing for Scott because as the true fans of the show know, he has an aversion to clowns, if you can all help it.
Yes.
And so for him to watch this movie says a lot about your growth as a man, as an individual, and I'm proud of you. I just want to
thank you. Thank you. I did see it in the theaters last summer, and it was a very intense experience for me because I have to pace during scary movies, so I can't go to movie theaters to watch them necessarily because the anxiety will get to me. So
you're like the guy in the stairway on the side, like walking up and down.
That would be me. If we had a stairway in our Kingman movie theater, it'd be me. But if I do it in the Kingman Theater, people think I'm just counting seats and looking for people that snuck
You
in.
walk in
That's
with
right.
a uniform.
Exactly.
No,
Just give me a badge, Brenda.
No, you're the
give
guy
me a
that
badge,
looks for
I'll
the
take
women
care of
who
this.
put the candy in their purse. That's what
That's
you're
right.
doing. You're looking
Candy.
for those ladies
Amateurs.
that put the candy in their purse.
Amateurs.
It's candy tax,
No,
man. Pay up, lady.
Like burgers.
Pay up.
Burgers, burritos, 2 liters.
See, Josh knows how to do it, man. Josh, you're new to the show, but you've listened. I've been going to Josh as my barber for probably about the past 6 months.
Okay.
And
Feels like years.
It does. It does. Every time I go there, he takes years off my life.
Ditto.
But yeah. But
Hey,
I'll
you
be
can't
honest,
call
man,
a receding hairline years off your life. That's not
just an edit.
That's not what that means.
Oh shit.
Well,
But anyway, yeah,
I mean,
we'll see.
it
But
does
anyway,
slip up once in a while, the razor.
yeah. But he does a good job for like 85% of the time.
Hey, that's a good number.
Hey, 85%
That's a good
of the
average.
time he does it right every time.
That's a B plus.
Exactly.
That's a B plus.
That's a B plus average. It's a solid B. No, growing up, my dad used to take my brother and I to Jim's barber shop here in Kingman,
Good guy.
and we would have to sit. Jim's a good guy.
Really
We'd have
good
to
guy.
sit there for hours waiting for our haircut. But that's what you did in the barber shop growing up. It's lost in today's world. Is you got to sit there and you got to BS with everybody waiting. There's always a ball game on. There's always something to talk about, and it's a place where like men got to be men. It was like Americana. Does it make sense?
No, it does.
It makes sense to me,
It
buddy.
does. It does plenty of sense.
And as I grew up, I went to college and I got out. I didn't have the time to go back and sit in the barbershop for hours on end. And I got off when most barbershops were closing. So I had to switch to like Cost Cutters or Sports Clips or wherever would get me in. So that's what I did for years. Until I got a friend request about a year ago from this rando named Joe Sue. And
Hey, don't call me by my slave name.
Wow, that has such a sexual connotation to it.
Right.
Well, I mean,
from just Sue. Jesus, wow, really? But did you swipe to the right or the left? Which way did you go on the swipe, buddy?
I wasn't sure, man, but I saw our mutual friends, and it was a bunch of friends that
It was on Grindr.
from the gym I go. Yeah, exactly. So that's one way to get business, man. But
Hey, man, I gotta reach out to every platform of social media.
exactly. So I looked at our mutual friends. It was mostly people I knew from the gym, and I accepted. And then I started watching his live videos to get people to come use him.
Oh man,
And dude, he was insanely funny. But I still stayed at Sports Clips or wherever the hell I was.
I'm gonna continue to keep getting a bad haircut, even though I like this guy.
Exactly. It's like the guy's funny, but I don't trust his haircut styles yet.
But you trust
And-
Sports
and-
Clips?
Yeah, well, hey man, I don't have much to do with my hair. You know that now. But then our friend Terry T down at the Rickety Cricket opened up a barbershop called The Buzz in downtown Kingman. The Buzz, where you can go down and get a beer and you get your hair cut by Josh. So I thought I'd give it a whirl. I met Josh, and dude, it's been just I can't stop laughing every time I go down there. It's
remember
fun.
the first day. It wasn't even a day. It
Do
was
you?
at night.
That's true. It was JP's 40th birthday. That's right. I went there with
I
Brian.
was not there at the party, obviously.
No,
No, I was
you
at
were
work.
not yet.
You know
No.
what, Scott? I remember that now. Yeah, because we came into
Yeah.
town and I was like,
Yeah.
"Where's Scott? Oh, he's getting his hair cut." And I went, "He's getting his hair cut?" Yeah, there's this great new barber that's right next to the Rickety Cricket that gets a great haircut. So I said, "Oh man, good for you, Scotty." Came in looking sharp. You looked like you were a little buzzed. I mean, you had everything going.
I mean, I was a little buzzed when I went into the Buzz, but man, I tell you what, he did such a great job. Like every 3 to 4 weeks from now on, man, I've been in there ever
That's
since.
a major compliment because if you go in drunk, not remembering anything, but yet you remember, hey, I got a good haircut. That was a good haircut.
That's great. That's great, And the way I figure, I mean, you have beer on tap in the Buzz in downtown Kingman, so you can actually get buzzed while you're waiting to get a buzz. So you don't even have to worry about it. If you don't think you're gonna have a good haircut, it'll be a great haircut if you have a couple of
That's
beers.
the motto. Come in, get buzzed.
That's it.
Actually,
Now-
no, the motto is get faded.
No.
So, Josh, I have to ask. I mean, have you ever heard of this kind of arrangement in another barbershop that you've ever either been at or worked at or anything like this,
When we first
where they
opened
serve
it
beer
up,
to the clientele?
when we first opened it up, it was something in just major cities. It was actually kind of like the beginning of a revolution. There was like there's a lot of barbershops that I follow, a lot of barbers that I follow on Instagram. And it was kind of like something that was just beginning. And when Terry actually came, he's like, "Hey man, I got a spot downtown. Let's open up a shop." I'm like, "Yeah." And then he's all like, but I can have beer in there. I'm like, wait, like he just blew my mind. I'm like, yes, let's do it.
And he didn't know what you had already started doing some research on. He didn't even have an idea, did he?
No,
he
Kismet, it was
right?
just his idea was like, man, it'd be so cool if you go in, get a haircut, and while you're getting a haircut or you're waiting to get a haircut, you got a beer in your hands. And it's like that's what guys have been doing for years, but just on the down low, like not legitimately. So it's something kind of new, but it's starting to catch on.
And I tell you what, man, it's a cool vibe down there. Santana, your sidekick, does a good job. He only takes appointments though.
Yeah.
Josh takes all the walk-ins. So
he's it sucks because he gives me crap for it, but he's 10 years younger than me. So he's with the new crowd. Mm-hmm. I'm with the old school crowd. I do like the old school walk-ins, like, just first come, first serve, just kind of shooting the ish, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like just old school I was brought up with the old school barbershop, and he's like the new school. So it's a good mix.
So how long have you been a barber?
Officially, I have been a barber for 11 years, but I've been cutting hair since what is it, like I think I started like in sophomore year.
Of high school?
Yeah, it was mostly out of necessity. I mean, my family, we didn't really grow up with much, and I remember my dad's sister, my aunt, for some reason she bought us a pair of clippers. I have no reason. I still don't remember why. I just remember like, hey, she showed up, there was clippers there. I'm like, huh, interesting. My younger brother, he was the only one that was actually, he didn't even care. It's not that he was strong. He just didn't care. He's like, hey man, my hair's long. Can you cut it? So that's where I first started experimenting with it. So it was like sophomore year. He was in junior high. So 15, like that's like sophomore year, right? 15, 16?
Yeah,
I think so.
That. 15 or 16.
So that's like,
that's
like 18 years ago?
Yeah.
But officially in a barbershop, though, like 11 years.
That's not bad at all, man. That's a good career though too, because people are always going to need their haircut.
It is.
Well, and I think it's one of those things too that I think I would like to have you, because Scott already mentioned, the cost cutter, sports clips, all those kind of, I don't even, what do you call them? Salons? They're not even salons, right? What are they? They're just, they're just places where people can get their hair cut. Differentiate for our listeners the difference between authentic barber shop and just like a cost cutters or something like that.
I'll tell you this. When my first time that I can remember, I'm pretty sure it wasn't the first time. The first time that I can remember, I remember the barbershop that I went to. My great-grandfather took me. It was Dave's Barbershop down somewhere in Phoenix. And the thing is, when you go there, you sit down and you listen to the conversations. Back then, the conversations were a little different. But you just sit down. It's more of an experience. And there is a little bit more craftsmanship as opposed to like the bigger franchises, because the bigger franchises, they're just kind of like a numbers game. They get you in, they get you out. Bam, 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 bam. Whereas a barbershop, it's more of you go to hang out. Because when you usually go, you're going during a time when you have either time off or after work or whatnot. So you're going to kind of relax, but you're also getting a haircut. So it's getting a good haircut because you have people that are experienced. In barbershops, there's mostly barbers that know what they're doing. It's not just like they want to get you in, they want to get you out. They want
it's not new graduates from
exactly.
fresh out of the hair academy or whatever. But it's people that
there are some newcomers. I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere, but it's not like the whole shop is full of new people. There might be like one new person, and then everybody else in the shop is grooming that new person.
No, that makes sense, because the past few times I've been, it's almost like you get on the same haircut schedule as some people. You don't necessarily know their names yet, but like the same people have been in the last 4 or 5 times I've been in there. So it's kind of cool. You kind of get to know people. Yeah. You kind of get to feel the vibe and just have that fun conversation with them. And I finally understand now why my dad would go and do that. And my dad still goes, and there's a barber shop somewhere in town that he goes to. But it's the guy that it's because he wants to go sit and bullshit.
Yeah, and it's like,
and I get that.
You get with your barber, and he's basically your barber for life, or until either he dies or you die.
Exactly. Yeah, whichever until death do you part. It's almost like a wedding vow.
Basically.
Yeah, basically.
And you know what's crazy? It's like dudes are more afraid of cheating on their barber, like going to another barber, than actually cheating on their wife. Like, it's terrifying.
Oh,
Yeah, well, they could tell.
Yeah, well, that's the problem is you don't come in for 2 months and your hair doesn't look that like it's grown 2 months. Yeah. You cheated. I mean, that's like you already got the. I mean, there's not even a 5 second. Is he cheating? It's like your hair looks exactly the same it does when I first cut it 2 months ago. You cheated on me, and you're dead to me. You're dead to me.
Who are you seeing behind my back?
And what's crazy?
Who's shaving the back of your
neck? Crazy is that barbers really don't care, but the customer is actually the one's like, oh my gosh, I don't know, is he gonna notice? I hope he doesn't notice. Oh, I went somewhere else. And then they break down and like, I'm sorry, man, I cheated on you. I went with somebody else. I'm like, well, bro, it's not that serious.
Well, but women have been doing.
We're just casually cutting. Cutting hair.
They go to their same hairstylist salon chick, and you go in there, and you got 4 or 5 women all getting their hair done, and they're doing the same thing. They're talking. They're telling rumors and gossip, and so it must be an alluring thing to be part of a community. Versus just like you said, a number. Just get in, get out, get in, get out, get in, get out.
That's mostly what it is. That's mostly what it is. And it's not even a thing about like guys know how to cut hair and girls don't. It's just a barber is completely different from a stylist. It's a hangout spot. It's where you go.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you ever get the tradition? You do shaves too?
Yeah. Everything that you can do, everything except for pulling teeth. And bloodletting.
And you have beer for that. You do have beer for that. Yeah. So you could on a pinch.
Jason, next time you're in town, dude, you should come with me to get a haircut at the Buzz because it is a cool experience, especially depending on who's in there because the conversations are, you never know what you're walking into.
I actually
it sounds wonderful, yeah.
The bloodletting part, I mean, if you accidentally nick somebody and then somebody's like drinking, so it's like if you're drinking, like blood doesn't stop. So I mean, bloodletting, I guess we still do bloodlet.
Yeah, but it's a lot more minimum now than it used to be.
Well, depends. It depends on if I like you or not.
Oh God!
If I nick you a little too much or not.
Yeah, if you're buzzed, man, you can get a little lightheaded, get a little bit more lightheaded, just kind of nick an artery or something. You're cool.
Well, that's the thing though. Like, dudes get really like into the conversation, and it's like, dude, I have a straight razor. Like, this thing could take your neck out. But they don't care. Like, they're just like moving. They're like, oh, how dare you call that guy this, that, and my football team. It's like, dude, I'm shaving your face. Stop.
And I used to always think, I said, oh man, I would never want to sit in a chair and have someone shave me. But as I've gotten older, I recognize that single sharp blade where someone can get in and get just a nice smooth shave is kind of appealing because sometimes you're in a rush and you're trying to shave yourself and it's just I don't get it all perfect or I don't get that nice smooth shave. To have someone who's skilled to be able to do that, I mean, there's something to be said about that.
Well, it's like have you ever tried to cut the back of your head?
No.
Either one of you? You can't because you physically can't see. So it's like the same thing when you're shaving, you have the single blade. And the barber can actually see where the hair is at, what it needs to cut, which way it grows, so you cut against it. So that's why you get the close shave because it's somebody else's perspective.
Yeah. And you like you said, you also get now you've gotten everything cleaned off nice. You get that hot towel or whatever to open up them pores, and I'm already salivating. I'm already salivating, man. I'm already salivating.
It's a process, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
I love it. And do you get a lot of characters besides Scott in there?
Oh yeah. I'm pretty sure you know Scott a little bit better than I do, but Scott is actually one of the, I'd say, medium type of characters as far as like on the weird scale, because he's not even that bad. We get characters, and that's just characters here at the Buzz, like here in Kingman. Like throughout my whole career, I've met some crazy people. Now,
as a barber, are you kind of like a priest or a confidant for some of your clients?
I am gonna say D, all of the above.
Okay, so not only are you giving them the service of a shave, a haircut, but in some cases you might be their confidant. You might be the person that they're telling deep, dark secrets about. You ever get awkward? I mean, does it ever get like, I just want to cut your hair, man. I just want to get out of here. I want to get out of this situation.
In the beginning, when I first started cutting hair in a barbershop, I was like, why are you telling me this? But with the years go on, it's like, honestly, for some reason, guys just feel comfortable. It's like, well, I mean, you have to feel comfortable. You got sharp objects pointing at my head. So it's like you eventually, like, you kind of break down, hey, man, he's not cutting my throat. Like, maybe I can tell him some stuff. So you just kind of get used to it.
Yeah, I'm like you. I want to get, like, the girl I had in Kingman. I went to her every month for 3 years, and it was the same kind of thing. I would not go to anyone else. She started out at like a Sports Clips or one of those, but now she's on her own. She only did that because she was like a manager, so they gave her a little extra money. But it's the same thing. It's that loyalty. Like Scott, I mean, you have Scott for life now. He won't go anywhere else.
Yeah, unfortunately. That was my fault.
He will. Maybe he will, though. I don't know. Scott's, kind of, he's turncoat sometimes.
No, I love Scott. If Scott goes somewhere else, like if he cheats on me, like I'll take him back. All
right. No, all right.
But let's just say, Scott, you fuck it up again, you're out, dude.
Fuck it up, man. I was trying to talk for 10 minutes. It was like there's a fucking ghost in the room.
It's going to be called Liquid Kernedge if you don't stop.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure now where to even get back into it because I don't even know where Scott dropped off.
I know.
I think I dropped off when you were talking about your grandfather taking you to...
Oh, damn.
Yeah, dude. I thought I was talking for like 10 minutes.
Oh, Jesus. That was like at the beginning.
Honestly, yeah. I thought you guys were just like having a conversation. I couldn't get a word in edgewise.
Just ignoring you the whole time.
And finally I was like, can you hear me? I just started talking. I was like, hey, can you hear me? Test. Is this working? I took out my headphones. I plugged them back in.
Hey,
like, fuck it.
Switch from Suddenlink switch from Frontier to Suddenlink, bro.
I have Suddenlink, dude.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Are you sure?
Trust me, I know who gouges me for my internet. Do you?
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, so I guess I'm trying to think of where we could just like. We had some major technical difficulties.
I'll admit, man.
At this point, Josh and I are done. But if Scott, you want to add anything?
If you'd like to join our conversation, like 10 years later.
No, man. I felt like a guy in the barbershop sitting, waiting to get in the chair.
You're like the new guy.
Yeah, you guys are having this intense conversation. Like Jason was getting his haircut. And I was like, well, sir, excuse me. Who are some of these zany characters you've met? You called me a medium-sized character. And you're like the spectrum of shit. And I couldn't even defend myself.
Hey,
okay,
but it was
Scott.
medium, but it wasn't bad.
It was medium. It was like, I've seen better, I've seen worse. He's there.
In the barber community, medium is okay. That's like
it's like we'd be okay if he saw other barbers on the side if he had to leave town. One of those. I mean,
so we had a major malfunction. Scott fucked something up. So unfortunately, we didn't have him for about 25 minutes of this conversation.
Before Tom comments that I've been oddly quiet during this whole episode, it's not from a lack of trying. It's because literally we had a technical difficulty. I could hear everything. I could hear everything, but I could not talk.
God. So Scott, continue.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. Now, one of the reasons that we've talked about that I do like going to a barbershop is because you never know what conversation you're going to walk into.
True.
You never I have walked into some insane conversations on a Tuesday morning. Because I come and get my hair cut like between meetings, whatever else. I sneak in, I get it done, I get out. And there's been times I've walked in where Josh is in a very deep conversation about Disney biker gangs.
And it's like a serious conversation.
It is.
No joke. No joke.
Oh man.
And they have a TV. They have a TV monitor that's always got YouTube on. So that led to someone loading up a video on these gangs of Disneyland and the initiation. So now all of a sudden we're watching these Disneyland gang initiations in the barbershop, breaking it down.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. It's intense.
Blood and Crips. It's like Peter Pan's and Mickey Mouse's.
Yeah, dude. It's crazy.
It was a serious conversation though. Like if you think about it, now in hindsight, it's like, what the heck? Like that's what we were talking about. But in the midst, like when it was actually going on, it's like, dude, like seriously, like what the heck?
Yeah, dude. Well, then what it was about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, I walked in, and it was only me, some old guy, and then Santana had somebody in his chair. And the guy left, and Josh just point blank looked at me and said, "Do you eat ass like the millennials?"
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And,
Wow.
and that triggered a whole nother conversation.
That was a survey we were taking.
It was a survey, and it was a great survey because it triggered a whole conversation. Like, I'm not a millennial, so that used to be like special. Now it's like standard issue. You know,
apparently
it's what you do. And a few days later, I'm in the gym, and we had a new person in our class, so we always have to like stand around, like, "What's your name?" and like say something random about ourselves. And a buddy I work out with was like, the other day I was in the gym, or I was in the barber shop, and my barber asked me if I like to eat ass. And I stopped. I looked. I was like, "Did you go to the Buzz? Because I got asked the same question 2 days ago."
the daily question of the day.
Question of the day.
Like I said, like me and Santana were 10 years apart. We're actually I consider ourselves like different generations. Apparently we're both millennials, but I'm considered an old millennial.
Well, how old are you, Josh?
I'm 33.
You're 33.
And it's like, dude,
Okay.
like I was trying to defend my side. Like, dude, that's not normal. And he was there to trying to defend his side. Like, no, that's totally normal. That's in. I'm like,
Oof.
And
Oof.
what's crazy is that the older generation is not for it, but the younger generation is all for it. So like his age is all for it. So it's like, okay, so
that's
makes
awesome.
Sense.
Yeah, I know.
So you have to kind of like find that balance. Like it's a weird conversation to even have. Like I don't even know like I don't even know how to begin with that. Like, what if you're with someone? It's like, do you just do that automatically? Do you have to ask them? Like, these are questions that I think people should know, but you have to ask those in the barbershop so we can find out, because now inquiring minds want to know.
It depends on who you're dating.
That's true.
Like, if you're like 80 years old and dating a 50-year-old, obviously you're not going to be like, oh, we used to like do this.
Back in my day, I used to eat ass like there was no tomorrow.
No, it was like, I don't want nothing fancy, so no missionary.
Well, I guess what we'll do in that case is, that was a great conversation to walk in on, and it did spark a lot of conversation around town. So that is a true moment where you realize that you can learn a lot from going to a barber shop.
Yeah.
But if you want to hit us up on social media, on our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that, Liquid Kernedge, do you go to a barber shop, or do you go to a beauty salon, or one of those sport clips, great clip places? We want to hear from you where you go. And if you don't go to a barbershop, would you be willing to try? For the gentleman out there listening to us. In fact, I want to know, Tom, who is at Twitter and Instagram, liquid_EP. Do you go to a barbershop down in Phoenix, or do you go to a hair salon? Inquiring minds want to know. All 5 listeners out there are inquiring to know where you get your haircut.
Huge audience. I'm like so nervous now. I'm glad I had like 3 bottles before I got on this podcast.
Very important. Now, do you have any female clientele?
Yes.
Okay, and for the females, because they do a lot of colors and stuff, do you do their colors, or do you just do cuts?
No, hell no.
It is straight
cuts. Mostly, let me be not specific, but in generalizing, the women that come in to get a haircut, they are in same-sex relationships, and they're usually the dude.
That's a very political way to say it. They're butch lesbians.
I'm glad you said it, not me.
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not cutting their hair, but it's fine.
It's the butch lesbians. They're the boy of the relationship.
I do the shorter type haircuts, and that doesn't include the pixie cut. It's like men's cuts.
Yeah,
but I do have female barber. I do have female customers.
So that just lost my whole train of thought on that. It's
what do you enjoy?
What do you enjoy most about being a barber? Like building your clientele, or just like what's been like the biggest, like I guess pleasant surprise you found being a barber?
Well, the thing is, I haven't always been a barber. Like I've been a plumber, I've been in customer service, like telemarketing. And the thing is, when you go to a regular job from a 9 to 5, whatever, you're doing the same thing every day, all day. When you're a barber, you're literally going and hanging out. You're cutting hair, but you're going and hanging out. It's like I tell everybody, you're paying. The haircut is free, but you're paying for the conversation.
So you're like a prostitute.
Wow! Whoa! What?
I mean, I'm just if you're saying like that, if I'm paying for the conversation, I'm paying for your company.
0 to 100 real quick, bro.
I'm just saying. I was like, let's cut to the chase.
I mean, it's just a conversation. I mean, I'm not really giving like the whole full service, bro. I tell everybody, I will service you from the neck up.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's got a different definition to some people, but that's a good way to clarify it.
For the right price, I'll do a lot of services. How's that? Is that what we're talking about?
Oh,
I'll give you a
man.
pixie. I'll give you a crew cut. I'll give you, for $1 million, you might even get an ass eating. Whatever you need, buddy. Whatever.
Apparently, that's what my generation's doing these days.
Well, I'm an older millennial, so I mean, if I was a younger millennial,
so you're on the fringe. Yeah, you're on the fringe.
And thank God they called you an older millennial because they changed it recently from like 77 to 83. They were considered millennials too. Now we're considered xenials.
Actually,
xenials.
Xenials, yeah.
I think I've always identified with Generation X. And I'm going to put that in there. Like, you know how like transgenders, they identify with something? I'm identifying as a Generation X.
That makes sense.
Like, that's how bad the millennials are that I want to be Gen X.
Yeah. No, the millennials are they drive me nuts, man.
Wow.
They mean well, but they want everything so fast. They don't want to work for anything.
My daughter made a comment that I guess the Hooters are closing. They're going through bankruptcy, or Hooters might be shutting down. And
we need a
her comment was, well, no, because the millennials, they don't want to see big tits anymore. I went, oh, okay. Well,
what?
As an old person, I don't mind.
What?
Yeah, they were saying that I guess millennials don't go to they go to more places like the Tilted Kill, Twin Peaks versus
That's the same crap.
It's the same thing. It's the same fucking thing.
No,
that's the same thing.
No,
I don't.
That's what she said. You're right. To me, they're all the same thing. Scantily clad girls in a restaurant serving somewhat crappy bar food. But
yeah,
I guess I'm going to start dressing different then.
But yeah, she said the millennials are ruining that. I went, oh man, you fucking millennials. No, I'm just kidding.
Josh, I think you ought to dress as a Hooters girl for Halloween this year. Really scare the shit out of some of your customers. I think that's
no.
I'm moving from Batman to Batgirl.
Oh,
that's better. Okay.
Are you gonna make Santana be Robin?
His character is yet to be determined.
Oh, very nice.
Maybe
that'll be very.
What?
No, so that'll be fun to watch to see what happens with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
might not be safe for TV.
That's true.
Take a couple minutes and tell us what time you guys are open. When you see, how many days a week you're open. Give us a plug of your business.
We are open from Tuesday to Saturday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm completely walk-in. Santana's completely appointment, but he's booked out like 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks in advance, depending on the time of the year. But you can walk in anytime, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Fridays and Saturdays, it is by appointment only. We're open from 9 to 6. Obviously, we're not like stuck to those hours. That's just kind of like a
loose idea.
Yeah, somebody requires there to be hours, so it's like, okay, from 9 to 6, but we're there whenever we're there. But definitely for sure, 9 to 6.
Yeah. Maybe earlier, maybe later, but between those hours. That makes sense.
I mean,
that's
the whole thing of a barbershop. Like Sport Clips and Great Clips, they're all like, oh, we have these hours and this and that. The barbershop, it's like easy going. You just go in, hey, man, I want a haircut. Hey, guess what? I cut hair.
That's what we do.
Not to mention, what a great excuse. You go in for a haircut, you come back to your wife, you're hammered. Why are you so drunk? Well, I had to wait for my haircut. I mean, what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? Like, it's like a perfect segue into just a day of enjoyment, fun, good conversation, some beer.
Literally, and it's like you're literally letting everybody behind you ahead of you just so you can drink beer.
That's it. You don't have to be in a hurry when you go to the barber shop.
That's what Scott does every time, and he's at lunch. I'm like, dude, I have to cut you off. You have to go back to work, bro.
Don't you tell me what I don't know about you. I know
what I'm doing. I ain't doing it for 2 years.
I'll eat ass. I don't care.
I'm sure we're probably pretty close to having a demonstration at some point.
I'm not a millennial. I can handle my alcohol.
Well, on that note, we probably need to wrap up the show this week. We do apologize for the technical difficulties, Tom. We will expect to see those in our notes. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, all at Liquid Kernedge. Tell us, do you go to a barbershop, a beauty salon, or somewhere in between? We want to know.
Hit me up on a pigeon.
Hit Josh up on a pigeon. Josh, what's the address of the Buzz downtown?
Oh, man, you're putting me on the spot now.
Hey, go to the Buzz in downtown Kingman.
We're on Beale Street.
You're on Beale Street. You can't miss them. Look for the barbershop pole.
Well, it's a barbershop flag.
Look for the barbershop flag.
Yeah.
That'll work.
We're next to the coffee place, across from the CPS. It almost sounds like we're in Phoenix.
It does, actually. It really does. Jason, take us home, sir.
I feel like it's a very appropriate. Arizona lost an icon this week to Senator John McCain, who passed away on Saturday. I would be remiss if I didn't at least mention his passing. Whether you believed in what he stood for or not, he was an icon, representative of the state of Arizona. He's been there for a long time. So God bless to him, and his heartfelt condolences to his family.
Yes.
Josh, thank you so much for joining us. I had a great time. I'm glad that we got a little time to talk by ourselves. It really made the show. It really made the show special for me, so I appreciate that.
It almost seemed like it was better.
It almost had a ring of better. That is for sure.
Quick tidbit: like when John McCain died, I actually looked up some stuff. He was 13 years old when World War II ended.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
He's been through some stuff.
His mother's still alive at 106 years old.
That is even crazier. I did not know that.
Yeah, she is still alive and kicking.
Wow.
The things you learn. But he was a great man. We're sorry for the loss, and now we see what happens next in the Arizona government.
That's right. But
it sucks. He was an Arizona guy. I'm an Arizona guy. I was born and raised in Phoenix, and it's man, that sucks.
Yeah. I mean, how about this? He's been basically a senator as long as you and Scott have been alive.
Yeah, that's
longer.
He started in 81, so he was about when Scott.
He's been a senator as long as I've been alive. So
exactly. So, Josh, thanks for joining us. Had a great time. Thanks for listening, everyone. We really appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. I know we did. That was Scott.
Thank you for listening.
I am Jason. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That was Scott. I am Jason. And as always, if you never know quite what to say, just have yourself some Liquid Kernedge.